The neon lights at the alley entrance were blurred into a hazy spot by the rain and fog. Fu Mingxuan leaned against the mottled brick wall, her fingers repeatedly stroking the fabric on her left chest. Under the skin there, hidden three tattooed letters LSY, the abbreviation of Lin Shuyan's name. The rain wet the ends of her hair, slid down her jawline, mixing with the unshed moisture in her eyes, making it impossible to tell if it was rain or tears. She was 20-7 years old this year. This tattoo was done when she was 17, secretly, in a small tattoo shop at the end of the alley, without telling anyone. The stitches were not exquisite, even a bit sloppy, but it was like a mark carved into her bones and blood, accompanying her through 10 long and paranoid years. Fu Mingxuan and Lin Shuyan met in the midsummer of their 17th year. At that time, Fu Mingxuan was an orphan fostered at her uncle's house. She was taciturn and thorny, like a weed growing in the corner, full of an aura that kept strangers away. Lin Shuyan, on the other hand, was a transfer student from the next class. He had clean features, a gentle smile, wore a white shirt with rolled up cuffs, revealing slender wrists, and was the kind of boy who brought light wherever he went. Their first encounter was when Fu Mingxuan was blocked by several off-campus hooligans at the alley entrance. They snatched the only dozens of yuan she had on her, pushed her to the ground, and her knees were scraped and bleeding. She bit her lip, refused to bow her head, and refused to cry, staring at those people like a wounded little beast, her eyes full of stubbornness and hatred. Just then, Lin Shuyan appeared. Without the slightest hesitation, he picked up a brick from the ground, stood in front of Fu Mingxuan, and his clear but firm voice sounded, "If you don't leave, I'll call the police." At first, the hooligans looked down on this gentle-looking boy, but the firmness and determination in Lin Shuyan's eyes made them inexplicably afraid, and they left cursing. Only the two of them were left in the alley. Lin Shuyan squatted down, took out iodine and band-aids from his school bag, and carefully treated Fu Mingxuan's wound. His movements as gentle, as if he were handling a rare treasure. "Don't walk this alley alone in the future, it's too dangerous." His voice was gentle, and his eyes were full of concern. It was the first time Fu Mingxuan had felt kindness from a stranger since she was a child, like a beam of light, suddenly shining into her darkened cold world. Since then, Fu Mingxuan has been obsessed with chasing Lin Shuyan's figure. When he was in class, she would lie at the back door of the classroom and secretly look at him when he got out of school. She would follow him not far away, and looking at his back made her full of joy when he talked to his classmates. She would hide in the corner, jealous like crazy, wanting to push away everyone who approached him. She knew her obsession was terrible, but she couldn't control herself. Lin Shuyan was the only light in her dark world, and she tried her best to hold this light firmly in her hands. Lin Shuyan was not unaware of Fu Mingxuan's existence. He could feel her scorching gaze, her silent company, and even see the undisguised possessiveness in her eyes. At first, he felt sorry for this girl and thought she was persistent. He would occasionally take the initiative to talk to her, bring her a candy, or silently stay by her side after she was scolded by her uncle. But gradually, he found that Fu Mingxuan's paranoia had reached a suffocating level. She would secretly rummage through his school bag, take the notes he passed with other girls, and then tear them to pieces in front of him. She would deliberately provoke the girl after he talked to her, forcing the other party to dare not approach him again. She would even wait for him downstairs at his house when he came home late from school, and only leave when he appeared and confirmed that there was no one else around him. Lin Shuyan tried to communicate with her, telling her that love is not possession, but Fu Mingxuan just stared at him firmly, her eyes paranoid and crazy. "I don't care, Lin Shuyan. You are mine, only mine. No one can take you away." 17-year-old Fu Mingxuan was paranoid and crazy. She didn't know how to express her love, so she could only declare her possession in the most extreme way. That day, she saved her pocket money for a long time, secretly ran to the tattoo shop at the end of the alley, and asked the tattoo artist to tattoo the 3 letters LSY near her heart. The tattoo was very painful. The needle pricked the skin, piercingly painful. But Fu Mingxuang didn't frown at all. She looked at the 3 sloppy but clear letters on her chest in the mirror, and a weird and satisfied smile appeared on her lips. She thought this way: Lin Shuyan would always be with her, carved in her heart, integrated into her bones and blood, and never separated. She took the mirror, ran to Lin Shuyan, lifted her clothes, exposed the tattoo on her chest, her eyes burning with expectation. Lin Shuyan, look, I tattooed your name on my heart. From now on you are mine, and we will be together forever, okay? Lin Shuyan looked at the 3 dazzling letters, then at the paranoia and madness in Fu Mingxuang's eyes, and a sense of inexplicable fear surged in his heart. He took a step back unconsciously, his tone with a hint of alienation. Fu Mingxuang, are you crazy? Hurry up and wash it off. The smile on Fu Mingxuang's face froze instantly. The expectation in her eyes turned into disappointment little by little, and finally turned into crazy hatred. Wash it off? She sneered, her voice hoarse and desperate. Lin Shuyan, you let me wash it off. I carved you into my heart, but you let me wash it off? Have you never liked me? Do you think I'm ridiculous? She grabbed Lin Shuyan's wrist, her strength so great that she seemed to crush his wrist, her eyes full of crazy tears. I tell you, it's impossible. I will never wash it off. You are mine, this life, the next life, forever. Even if I die, I will take you with me. Lin Shuyan was frightened by her madness. He shook off her hand hard, his tone cold. Fu Mingxuang, you are too paranoid. We can never be together. Let me go and let yourself go too. After speaking, he turned around and left, never looking back. Fu Mingxuang stood there, watching his resolute back, her whole body cold. The rain mixed with tears slid down. She slowly squatted down, hugged herself, her shoulders trembling violently, and muttered repeatedly, Lin Shuyan, you can't go. You can't leave me. You are mine. After that day, Fu Mingxuang became more silent and more paranoid. She no longer secretly followed Lin Shuyan, nor took the initiative to talk to him. She often hid alone at the alley entrance, touching the tattoo on her chest, her eyes empty and desperate. He began to learn to smoke and drink, using the most self-harming way to relieve the pain and unwillingness in her heart. She felt that Lin Shuyan's departure was the greatest betrayal to her. She carved him into her heart, but he discarded her like a shoe. This love was full of destructive breath from the very beginning. After the college entrance examination, Lin Shuyan was admitted to a university in another city and left this small town without telling Fu Mingxuang or leaving any contact information. When Fu Mingxuang learned the news, she searched for him like crazy, searched all the places they had been to, but never found his figure. She sat at the alley entrance, looking at the mottled marks on the wall, thinking of the scene of their first meeting, thinking of the tattoo on her chest, and suddenly laughing until tears streamed down, muttering, Lin Shuyan, do you think you can get rid of me by leaving? You are wrong. I will find you, no matter where you hide. I will find you. Either we get married, or we die together. Do you want to get married? The kind where we stab each other to death. This wait lasted 10 years. In 10 years, Fu Mingxuang never gave up looking for Lin Shuyan. She worked hard. From a penniless orphan to the boss of a design company, she became calm, rational, and even a bit cold. But the paranoia in her heart never changed. The tattoo on her chest was still clear, like an unhealable scar, reminding her that Lin Shuyan was her obsession and the only meaning for her to live. Their reunion after 10 years was at a business cocktail party. Fu Mingxuang was wearing a black dress, with exquisite makeup and a cold temperament. Standing in the crowd, with an aura that kept strangers away, Lin Shuyan was standing not far away, wearing a well-tailored suit. More mature and steady than when he was young, with a gentle look in his eyes, but that gentleness no longer belonged to her. Beside him stood a gentle and beautiful woman. His fiancée? The two looked at each other and smiled, their eyes full of tacit understanding and happiness. Looking at them, Fu Mingxuang's heart was tightly held by an invisible hand, so painful that she couldn't breathe. The tattoo on her chest also seemed to be aching faintly, reminding her that the man she had chased for 10 years already belonged to someone else. She held a wine glass, walked towards him step by step, with a cold and weird smile on her face, her voice calm without the slightest ripple. Lin Shuyan, long time no see, you are doing well. When Lin Shuyan saw Fu Mingxuang, the smile on his face froze instantly, and a trace of surprise and imperceptible panic flashed in his eyes. He didn't expect to meet her here, let alone that she would become like this after 10 years. Fu Mingxuang, his voice was a bit hesitant, his tone complicated. You are here too. Why can't I be here? Fu Mingxuang sneered, her eyes falling on the woman beside him. Her eyes cold. This is your fiancée? She's very beautiful and she matches you well. She paused, slowly lifted the neckline of her dress, exposing the 3 still clear letters on her chest, her eyes paranoid and crazy. Lin Shuyan, look, I still have it. For 10 years. I have never thought of washing it off. I've been looking for you for 10 years. Just to tell you that you are mine, only mine. No one can take you away, including her. Lin Xian's face turned pale instantly. He stood in front of his fiancée unconsciously, his tone with a hint of vigilance and alienation. Fu Mingxuang, 10 years have passed. Can you be more mature? Between us, it's long over. I have my own life now. Please don't disturb us again. Over? Fu Mingxuang laughed crazily and desperately. Lin Shuyan, do you think it's over just because you say it's over? I carved you into my heart and accompanied you for 10 years. And you want to end everything between us with one sentence. You are just selfish. Her eyes became more and more crazy, her fingers tightly clutching the wine glass, her knuckles turning white. I tell you it's impossible. Either you call off the engagement and marry me, and we live well together, or we die together. Do you want to get married? The kind where we stab each other to death? I mean what I say. Lin Shuyan looked at the madness in her eyes, and a sense of fear surged in his heart. He knew that Fu Mingxuang meant what she said. And her paranoia was never just talk. His fiancée was frightened by this scene, tightly holding Lin Shuyan's arm, her face pale. Lin Shuyan took a deep breath, his tone with a hint of helplessness and exhaustion. Fu Mingxuang, what do you want? I know, I was sorry for you back then, but I really can't be with you. I already have someone I like, and I can't hurt her. Hurt her? Fu Mingxuang sneered. Did you think about hurting me when you hurt me back then? Lin Shuyan, you owe me, and you must pay it back. Either marry me, or we die together. She took out a small fruit knife from her bag, held it tightly with her fingers, the blade glowing with cold light. Choose. I'll give you 10 minutes. People around noticed the abnormality, looked over one after another, whispering. Lin Shuyan's face was pale. He looked at the determination in Fu Mingxuang's eyes, then at his fiancée who was trembling with fear beside him. Full of helplessness and pain in his heart, he knew that Fu Mingxuang had never let him go, and he was not without guilt towards Fu Mingxuang. Back then, because he was afraid of her paranoia, he chose to escape and leave without saying goodbye. But he never thought that it would bring her so much harm and make her so paranoid. 10 minutes passed quickly. Looking at Lin Shuyan's hesitant appearance, the hope in Fu Mingxuang's eyes faded little by little, replaced by complete despair. She raised the fruit knife and aimed it at her chest, where the 3 letters LSY were, the place where she had carved Lin Shuyan's name. Lin Shuyan, since you don't want to choose me, then I have to go find you. In this life, I can't get you, but in the next life, I will definitely hold you firmly in my hands. We will be together forever, never separated. Just as she was about to stab down, Xu Yan suddenly rushed over, grabbed her wrist hard, his strength so great that he seemed to crush her wrist, his eyes full of pain and pan. Don't be silly, Fu Mingxuang, I choose you. I will marry you. Okay? Put down the knife, don't hurt yourself. Fu Mingxuan was stunned. He looked at the pain and panic in Lin Shuyan's eyes, and suddenly laughed, laughing until tears streamed down like a child who got candy. Is what you said true? Her voice was trembling, unable to believe her ears. You really want to marry me? It's true. Lin Shuyan's voice was full of helplessness and exhaustion. I'm willing to marry you, as long as you don't hurt yourself or others. Okay. He knew that his decision may hurt his fiancée, but he had no choice. He couldn't watch Fu Mingxuan hurt herself, let alone watch her move towards destruction. Fu Mingxuan slowly put down the fruit knife, threw herself into Lin Shuyan's arms, hugged him tightly, her shoulders trembling violently, and muttered repeatedly, Lin Shuyan, I knew you wouldn't leave me. You are mine forever. Lin Shuyan stood stiffly in place, not hugging her back, his eyes full of pain and confusion. He didn't know if his decision was right or wrong. He only knew that what he owed Fu Mingxuan might have to be repaid with a lifetime. The wedding was very simple. No guests, no blessings. Only Fu Mingxuan and Lin Shuyan. Fu Mingxuan wore a white wedding dress with a happy smile on her face. She gently stroked the tattoo on her chest, her eyes full of paranoia and satisfaction. Lin Shuyan wore a black suit, his face calm, but there was no joy in his eyes, only deep exhaustion and helplessness. On their wedding night, Fu Mingxuan leaned in Lin Shuyan's arms, her fingers sliding across his chest, and said softly, Lin Shuyan, look, we are finally married. Just like I said, either get married or stab each other to death. Fortunately, we chose to get married. Her voice was gentle, but with a hint of weird paranoia. From now on, you are mine. Don't think about others, don't leave me again. Otherwise, I will really stab you to death, then commit suicide. And we will go to hell together forever. Lin Shuyan looked at her, remained silent for a long time, then slowly opened his mouth, his voice full of exhaustion. I know. He stretched out his hand, gently hugged her, his eyes full of pain and guilt. He knew that this marriage was full of destructive breath from the very beginning. Fu Mingxuan's paranoia and his guilt were like an invisible net, tightly wrapping the two of them, making them unable to break free, and they could only entangle each other in this paranoid love until the end of their lives. Later, someone asked Fu Mingxuan, did she regret it? Regret keeping Lin Shuyan in such an extreme way. Regret tattooing his name on her heart and living in paranoid obsession all her life. Fu Mingxuan just shook her head with a smile, gently touching the tattoo on her chest, her eyes full of paranoia and tenderness. I don't regret it. Even if this love is full of destructive breath, even if we will eventually go to perdition, I don't regret it. When I was young, I tattooed his name on my heart, which destined that I would entangle with him for the rest of my life. Either get married or die together. This is my love for him, paranoid and crazy, until death. Lin Shuyan also often looked at the sleeping Fu Mingxuan beside him late at night, looked at the 3 clear letters on her chest, and felt a lot of complicated emotions in his heart. He felt guilty for escaping back then, helpless for his current situation. But over time, he also found that his feelings for Fu Mingxuan were not just guilt, but also a trace of imperceptible love. But this love was deeply hidden by Fu Mingxuan's paranoia and his guilt. It was not until later that he realized that from the moment he stood in front of her back then, their fates were already tightly bound together, and they could never be separated. The neon lights at the alley entrance were still flashing, and the rain and fog were still hazy. Fu Mingxuan leaned in Lin Shuyan's arms, gently touching the LSY on her chest, and a satisfied smile appeared on her lips. She knew that this marriage might not be happy, might be full of quarrels and pain, and might eventually lead to destruction, but she didn't care. She only knew that Lin Shuyan was by her side, and that was enough. She kept her light in the most extreme way, even if this light would eventually burn herself. She was willing. After all, this was the marriage she exchanged for 10 years of obsession. The love she carved in her heart, integrated into her bones and blood. Even if it was the kind where they stab each other to death, she was willing to entangle with him for a lifetime.